see, everything's a journey. It's a journey to get into debauchery, and then it's a journey to get out of debauchery. So here's where it started. I was like 4 years old, and I was climbing this metal pole. It's like a clothesline pole or something in my family's backyard. And I noticed, I said, well, this felt good because it stimulated that area. And then I would do it whenever I thought about it. I hadn't yet become an addict yet because it's a journey to become an addict. And then later, maybe 10 years old, like a lot of us, I started masturbating in the shower. And then that kept going to where then I would do it more, right? Because I said, well, this feels good. So then anytime I feel bad, which you're gonna feel bad in life, the point isn't to try to escape from feeling bad. But then it occurred to me, something registered. I was like, I can feel better because I don't want to feel bad, so I can go feel better if I do this habit. So then I'd do that. Then I found my dad's porn collection, and then I started watching that, and I noticed the dopamine hit was even stronger. I didn't know it was dopamine, I just know I felt good. And I know I didn't want to feel bad. You see? So then it kept going. And then I learned, whoa, girls, when they give me attention, that feels real good because I didn't get a lot from my mom. You know, like a lot of us, we have a deficit of warm, loving female energy. So then when I saw a girl or something and she was giving that to me, that felt good. That was a really strong dopamine hit. So then you add that and the masturbation and the porn, and then sexual fantasies felt good. I could do that anytime. You can do that if you're in a hospital bed and you can't move. You can still get a dopamine hit with fantasies. So I was learning all these things of how to stimulate the dopamine center so that I didn't have to feel bad. And then that just kept going. That was the journey into debauchery. Sex, it wasn't, I learned pretty quick, like that saying, after sex, it's all downhill. I learned there was a lot of drama after having sex, and then the girl usually wanted more from me that I was willing to give, but then I felt guilty and shame because like I had sex with her, so then I got to compromise and do things I don't want to do, and I don't know, I just didn't, something just realized I didn't want to do that. So then as time went on, I just noticed my mental and emotional and physical energy sources were getting depleted. I was getting weak mentally. I didn't have much will. I would have mood swings. Physically, I would just be drained. Emotionally, I mean, my emotions were all over the place. And so I didn't know why. I mean, there's multiple reasons. It's not just sexual habits, it's lifestyle habits. And you know, this whole life, man, it takes a while to figure things out. We're like thrown onto a planet with this complex ship called the body and emotions and mind to navigate, and it can get like, where's the manual how to do it? In fact, the whole world conditions you in a way that propagates this debaucherous way of living. Go get more, you find your happiness outside, you got to be somebody, do this, do that. It's like all 180 degrees opposite of what we should be doing. So the cards are really stacked against most people at this time and age to come into a real semblance of balance. So, but grace, that's why I talk about grace a lot. If we have a burning desire to transform and to transcend this lower nature, and something in us knows that we're more than what we're exuding, than what we're being, so something just knows, like, I'm more than this. Why am I so, like, I feel like, I mean, yeah, the human body and human life is a limited experience for sure, but like, this feels excessively limited. There's no way I'm living in the full richness of myself. Like, intuition's telling you, like, there's something, I'm not doing something right. That's grace. So then the self-introspection analysis starts, and you start, see, when you're willing to discover what you can do to change for the better, all of a sudden things start happening. You might meet people or read books or nowadays see videos that will enlighten you a little bit. It will wake up dormant knowledge that's already in you. This is what we want. So that's what happened. I realized when I ejaculated. You know when I really realized it? I talk about this in my book, if you want to. Uh, this book's probably selling more than my other two. Uh, The Unspeakable Power of Preserving Our Sexual Energy. Yeah, you can, there's a link to my website on the video description, and also a pinned comment. You can check that if you like. I talk about that in there. This, when I really realized that when I ejaculated, that it was taking a toll on my mind, my body, my emotional stability, my spirituality. It was just making me dull and asleep, basically. It's like if you got a race car and you pour 87 octane in it instead of 100. It's gonna run, weaker. This is an analogy that explains how I felt when I realized there's something to this when I don't lose my energy. And here's the incident. I was having sex with my girlfriend. I was about 18, I think, 19. And I don't know why, but I didn't release that particular time with her. Something was holding on to it. I just didn't want to. And then after she finished, I was like, okay, cool, we're done. She's like, why didn't you release? I said, I don't know. I just I don't know. Because I didn't know. But somehow I was destined to have that experience, that particular time, to give me the insight to see how valuable the sexual energy is. And I noticed afterwards, I said, damn, that felt good. She was giving me her energy. I was absorbing the female energy, which was nice, right? Because as long as we're in a male body, we're half of the whole. So that felt good. At the same time, though, I didn't lose my energy. I took her energy, didn't take it in a selfish way, but I absorbed her energy. I hanged on to my energy. And I noticed I didn't have to eat that, like for the next 24 hours, I didn't eat much. And I didn't need much sleep. And then later I equated that to, oh yeah, energy. Why do we sleep? Energy. Why do we eat? Energy. Well, there's other sources to get energy. That's my point. Sexual energy is energy. If we hang on to that, we have more energy. Most people are in a deficit of energy. They're not in surplus energy. This is what we're trying to get to. We want to look at our lifestyle and see, where are we wasting energy? Okay, stop doing that. Because we want to hang on to our energy. What are the things I can do that can maybe give me some energy? Okay, I want to do those things. It's common sense, but we need to be told these things a little bit and reminded, because like I said, the cards are stacked against us to some degree. It's strong, man, out here. It's strong, the current that wants to keep people in delusion. It's super strong. Just notice, you're in your room, you're doing your yoga, or you're doing some kind of spiritual practice, you feel balanced, and then you go outside in the matrix. Notice how the current almost immediately pulls you in to delusion. Yeah, see, it's strong. It's so strong most people don't even know what you're talking about. That's how strong it is. They're like walking zombies and don't know it. So I realized that the energy, I need to hang on to that. And then I need to stop masturbating. When I was masturbating, there was no girl. I wasn't absorbing any energy. At least with the girl, you're absorbing some energy. Even if you do release, at least, you're getting some female hormones, which then makes your hormones, you become more masculine. That's just how it works. Some law of opposite when it comes to hormones. So, but when I was doing it solo, it's like, this sucks. And then add porn on top of that, sucks even more. And then you get into the fetishes and you get into, the sex workers, and it keeps going. You can get into some wild stuff and end up in prison. People do, because the addiction, the dopamine, you keep wanting more and more and more. It's no different than heroin or cocaine or anything else. What used to give you a little dopamine hit, now it doesn't work anymore. You need to up the ante. So you do more extreme things. So I didn't have to go down that route, thanks to Grace. I somehow realized this knowledge got activated, and I'm like, I don't want to lose my energy. So then, this is then edging got born, like in a real way, because I wasn't losing, I wasn't physically releasing, but yet the energy wasn't being transmuted either. And to all the people that say, yeah, man, but you can't, they say, look, it gets too intense sometimes. You have to like release. You can't just, I'm like, yeah, I say that all the time in the videos. It's common sense. You don't need to worry about that. Your body's going to release it one way or another anyway. This channel isn't about dogma. Remember at the beginning, I said it's a journey. You don't just wake up one day and say, okay, I'm done releasing, I'm done edging, I'm done everything. You don't have the power to do that. There's some out there, they say, yeah, you do. I did. I said, good, man. Yeah, you're special, okay. So the edging became, I'll define what edging is. You can see my edging playlist also if you want to know more about edging. When I wasn't releasing anymore physically, I became like a lust addict, man, like on a whole nother level. I would want to look at girls all the time. That everybody looked attractive. 70-year-old looks attractive. I said that in a video before, and some of the people said, were you talking about a 7-year-old? I said, yeah, whatever, man. You got to use your intelligence sometimes. or, like, would I say that? So everybody became like super attractive. Not attractive, the energy, the female energy was attractive. I didn't know how to contain all this energy. It was just making me crazy. But I liked it at the same time because I was like full on, man. I was like, what am I gonna do? Especially when I go to the beach or go somewhere where I could just edge. Edge meaning you want to get hits of validation from the girls. You want them to look at you and you play that game. You set yourself up and put yourself in situations where you're around some girls, you walk by, maybe take your shirt off, flex these gains, and then, you get a reaction. That gives you a hit. That's what I did for years, especially in other countries. I go to spots where nobody else goes. Especially 20 years ago, there wasn't so many people traveling, and now it's a different story. But I tasted all that, and it was driving me crazy, man. I thought I was enjoying it. I thought it was exciting, and but I realized it's like destroying my nervous system. It kept me in a constant state of restlessness and agitation, and I just wanted more and more and more. I've said before, if all 4 billion women on the planet would have been giving it up to me, it's not enough. I'd have to go conquer Mars or somewhere, because that's the nature of addiction and delusion. It's never enough. It's just never enough. So, okay, that knowledge finally occurred. Remember, the previous knowledge was I don't want to release physically. That was grace activating some hidden knowledge in me. The second level was grace revealed to me, like, damn, you could be losing more energy doing the edging. In the long run, I share about that in my book, like, edging's like a slow bleed. When you physically release, and it's like a cut, like you feel it, like you can see it, like it's obvious that you lost some energy. Edging's more like a slow bleed. You don't know until, like, you're bled out, basically. So that's what happened. After years of doing that, my nervous system was as bad or worse as when I realized I shouldn't be releasing physically. And I attributed that to this constant lusting and dopamine fixated behavior. It just, the knowledge woke up. I said, damn, okay, I got to stop. Oh shit, I can't stop though. Like, I just couldn't stop. I say, okay, I'm gonna stop. I go outside, I'm done. Then I realized, this is why I talk about grace. When you realize that you need to stop doing something and you can't do it, and you try, maybe you have brief periods of success, but you see, like, this is hard, like, I can't, it's still in me. It's still in my mind. I'm not free of it. Free in the organic sense. I don't have a desire to hump that tree. Like, it's easy. I just don't do it. I don't even think about it. That's real freedom. I never felt that when I was using my willpower to try to beat edging. It was just always there. I was always having to work on it. And okay, I don't want to, damn it. The compulsion's so strong though. I want to do it. You see, even if I didn't do it, it's like I'm doing it. Inside, I'm doing it. I realized I didn't have the power to be free of that. That character is still there. I couldn't turn it off. So then my prayers actually meant something then. I was like, God, seriously, I know I can't beat this now. I just can't do it. And I want to do it. I'm so sick of this shit. Like, this is just such a waste of time in life. Like, I'm sick of it. And then I started getting some power that wasn't mine. Some universal power was starting to do for me what I didn't have the power to do for myself. And then gradually it became like that analogy I gave, I don't want to hump the tree. Yeah, I just don't. The girls don't do it for me. Like, I like them. It's all paradoxical. I like them. I'm glad the planet has girls. I like talking to them, especially if they're on point. But I don't have there's no sexual fantasies or like, damn, I'd like to, it's not there. So that's the message. Now, the hardest point that I have trouble getting across to people is this takes time. That's why I said at the beginning of the video, it's a journey. It's a journey. Because people say, yeah, I'm asking, I'm praying, but it's still so strong. Yeah, I know, I went through all that, I know. All I'm saying is at some point, there'll be some shift, something will occur. You gotta what are you gonna do, man? This is the nature of life. We're conditioned to want everything quick, fast. Here, I got money, can I pay for it? Nope. Can't manipulate with the universe. You just can't. We got to learn these lessons and go through this transformational process organically. So that's my, what do you call it? That's my proof that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this debaucherous habit of like masturbation and edging. Like, I went through all those stages. I know what it is. And I can tell you that you can be free of it. Nothing special about me. Chosen one. No, it's just like I went through the same grind that I see other people going through. And that's why I say it's normal. Have patience with yourself. Don't give up. You keep going. That's it. If these words resonate with you, that means you're going to be free. The average, unconscious, ignorant person, they not only do the words not resonate, they get, resentful. They get mad. It's like they're hearing their higher self speak, but they don't want to hear it. It's like, no, let me just stay asleep and be unconscious. I'm like, yeah, enjoy. I did. Why you even turn the video on? Because something in you wants to be free, that's why. But it's not strong enough yet. So you come back when that gets stronger, and then you might appreciate this message now. I'm only talking to the people who are ready for this message now. If I was trying to go global, then I'd take my shirt off and put oil on. Yeah. It's funny. I would have done that if I made videos when I was 19 or 20 or something. I wish I would have done it just to look back. Anyway, all right, I'll see you guys.